Hello guys, welcome to the fourth episode of React.js tutorials, React ES6 variables. Before ES6, there was only one way of defining your variables with the var keyword. If you did not define them, they would be assigned to the global object unless you were in the strict mode. Then you would get an error if your variables were undefined. Now with ES6, there are three ways of defining your variables: var, let, and const. Var equals to var x equals to 5.6 semicolon. If you use var outside of a function, it belongs to the global scope. If you use var inside of a function, it belongs to that function. If you use var inside of a block, i.e. a for loop, the variable is still available outside of that block. Okay, var has a function scope but not a block scope. Let x equals to 5.6 semicolon. Let is the block scoped version of var and is limited to the block or expression where it is defined. If you use let inside of a block, i.e. a for loop, the variable is only available inside of that loop. Let has a block scope. Const x equals to 5.6. Const is a variable that once it has been created, its value can never change. Const has a block scope. The keyword const is a bit misleading. It does not define a constant value. It defines a constant reference to a value. Because of this, you cannot reassign a constant value, reassign a constant array, and reassign a constant object, but you can change the elements of a constant array and change the properties of a constant object. Test yourself with exercises. Create a variable that cannot be changed. So it will have to be const with C small letter lowercase. Then I submit, so you know how to do that. React ES6 array methods. Array methods. There are many JavaScript array methods. One of the most useful in React is the dot map parenthesis array method. The dot map method always allows you to run a function on each item in the array, returning a new array as the result. In React, map method can be used to generate lists. Example, generate a list of items from an array. Const myArray equals to, as you can see, apple, banana, and orange in square brackets, then semicolon. So const mylist equals to myArray dot map. Okay, in the parentheses we have another pair of parentheses, item, arrow, p, then item in curly brackets, p closing bracket, and the parenthesis closing. So I guess if it was anything other than item like xx, it would have worked. Let's run the example. Why is it taking so long? Import React from React, import React DOM from React DOM / client. Const myArray equals to apple, banana, orange. Const mylist equals to myArray dot map. Inside parentheses we have another pair of parentheses, item, arrow, then p opening tag, item in curly brackets, p closing tag, and closing parenthesis. React DOM dot render inside mylist, comma, where to be rendered, document dot get element by id of root. So in that root node we have this particular output, apple, banana, and orange in 3 paragraphs. Okay, and test yourself with exercises. Complete the array method that will allow you to run a function on each item in the array and return a new array. Const mylist equals to myArray dot map, and the rest of the things are just fine. Let me show you. whether this is really the case. myArray.map, where m has to be in lowercase. Then I submit the answer. So it was a correct one. Now I go to the next chapter since we have time. It's only 5 minutes 20 seconds. React ES6, destructuring. To illustrate destructuring, we will make a sandwich. Do you take everything out of the refrigerator to make your sandwich? No. You only take out the items you would like to use on your sandwich, right? Destructuring is exactly the same. We may have an array or object that we are working with, but we only need some of the items contained in this, okay? Destructuring makes it easy to extract only what is needed. Destructuring arrays. Here is the old way of assigning array items to a variable. Before, const vehicles equals to Mustang F150 expedition. Const car equals to vehicles of 0 index. Const truck equals to vehicles of index 1. Const sub equals to vehicles of index 2. Here is the new way of assigning array items to a variable. With the structuring, const vehicles equals to Mustang F150 expedition inside square brackets. So that's a list. That's an array. Since it is JavaScript and React.js, we have to consider this an array. And const car, truck, sub is another array. So equals to vehicles. So now car will be Mustang, truck will be F150, and sub will be expedition. When destructuring arrays, the order that variables are declared is important. If we only want the car and sub, we can simply leave out the truck, but keep the comma like this. Const vehicles equals to Mustang F150 expedition. Const car comma sub equals to vehicles. This way car will be Mustang and sub will be expedition. Okay. Destructuring comes in handy when a function returns an array. Function calculator of AB. Inside curly brackets we have const add equals to a plus b semicolon, const subtract equals to a minus b semicolon, const multiply equals to a asterisk b semicolon, const divide equals to a slash v semicolon. Return in the square bracket we have add comma subtracted comma multiply comma divide, and it ends semicolon. So after the closing curly bracket we have const add comma subtract comma multiply comma divide equals to calculate of 4 comma 7. Okay, you want to see it in the how much time we have? Plenty. Doc type HTML body script function calculate AB, const add equals to a plus b, const subtract equals to a minus b, const multiply equals to a asterisk b, const divide equals to a slash b. Return add comma subtract comma multiply comma divide closing curly bracket, const add comma subtract comma multiply comma divide equals to calculate 4 7. Document.write. In double quotation we have p opening tag sum colon space plus add plus p closing tag in double quotation then semicolon. The same way document.write p difference plus subtract plus p closing tag, document.write p opening tag product plus multiply plus p closing tag, document.write p opening tag quotient space plus divide plus p closing tag subtract closing tag, script closing tag, body closing tag, and HTML closing tag. In the output we have some space, some colon space 11. It's in a paragraph, and then in the next paragraph difference minus 3, and the next one product 28, in the next one quotient 0.57 and something else. Okay, so Destructuring objects. Let's see how lengthy this particular chapter is. Is this too lengthy? I guess if we try to finish it, it will be like 14 to 15 minutes. Okay, still let me try this. No, I prefer not to try this. Okay, so until the next time, this was the 4th episode of React.js tutorial series. Have a great day.